Calgary Housing Market March 2023. Market Report Summary for March 2023. At 2,432, Calgary's number of sales saw a 41% yearly decline and a 40% monthly increase in March 2023. Detached home average price increased by 5.4% year-over-year to $707,000. Semi-detached home average price increased by 4.9% year-over-year to $614,000. Townhouse average price increased by 9.2% year-over-year to $392,000. Condo apartment average price increased by 5% year-over-year to $305,000. The average home price in Calgary for March 2023 was $535,743. That's 0.5% lower than last March's average sales price and 5.7% higher than the previous months. Detached home average prices were $706,816, which shows 5.4% yearly growth and a 4% monthly increase. Semi-detached home average prices were $614,046, exhibiting a 4.9% annual and 4.9% monthly growth. The average townhouse price was $392,303, 9.2% higher than March 2022 and 1% higher than February 2023. Apartment average prices were $305,221, 5% higher than March 2022 and 8.7% higher than February 2023. Average home prices do not show the true extent of price changes because of the substitution effect. When changes in home prices or mortgage rates either reduce or increase consumers' buying power, they shift their purchases to affordable options. There is a change in the property types that buyers are interested in. Over the past 2 years, the composition of homes in the Calgary real estate market shifted toward condos and townhouses, away from detached and semi-detached houses. In Calgary, the benchmark home price rose 17.3% in 2 years and 0.8% year-over-year to $541,800. In March 2023, 2,432 homes changed hands. This shows a sharp decline in activity compared with the spring of 2022, but is in line with the historical activity levels. 3,318 new listings in the city of Calgary decreased 40% year-over-year, YOY, but increased 39% month-over-month, MOM, during March 2023. The sales to new listings ratio stood at 73%, little changed from February, while 8% higher than January 2023. Inventory decreased 26% YOY to 3,233 units, while it increased 18% MOM and currently stands at 1.3 months of sales compared with 1.6 and 1.3 months in February and January 2023. Over the past year, we have seen a slowdown in sales, but new listings slowed down similarly. Year to date, there were 5,370 sales and 7,557 new listings, down 43% and 40% compared to the same period in 2022. In March 2023, the benchmark price of a detached home in Calgary increased 1.8% year-over-year to $649,800 while increasing 2.2% month-over-month. The sale of 1,145 detached homes shows a 50% year-over-year decline and a 44% MOM increase in the number of detached homes sold. Currently, inventory stands at 1.4 months of detached home sales. Semi-detached benchmark home prices grew by 1.6% year-over-year to $581,300 and increased 2.3% month-over-month. Sales of semi-detached homes decreased by 37% YOY, but increased by 55% MOM, reaching 217 units. Currently, inventory stands at 1.3 months of semi-detached home sales. Benchmark townhouse prices grew 7.5% YOY, and increased 2.3% MOM to $378,100 for March 2023. The number of row houses sold decreased 45% YOY, yet increased 23% MOM to 388 units. Currently, inventory stands at 1.0 months of row home sales. Benchmark apartment prices are up 10.6% year-over-year and 2.6% month-over-month to $293,500. The number of apartments sold decreased by 12% YOY to 682 units, while increasing by 39% MOM. Currently, inventory stands at 1.5 months of apartment home sales. As another price indicator, we can also look at the median prices for Calgary houses, decreasing by 3.2% yearly to $485,000. Calgary median home prices are 2.3% higher than in February 2023. Median house prices for detached houses reached $635,000, increasing by 3.8% compared with last March. Median prices for semi-detached houses reached $550,000, rising by 6.8% annually. Median prices for row houses and apartments reached $380,000 and $268,250, respectively, increasing by 8.1% and 3.6% annually. Over the past few months, monetary policy has been the main driver of the Canadian housing market. The restrictive monetary policy of the Bank of Canada has put a brake on the housing market activity by increasing interest rates in Canada. Over the past year, the Bank of Canada has raised interest rates to subdue CPI inflation. On the one hand, higher interest rates reduce the present value of the rent, which can be earned from a typical home, thus reducing the value of the house. On the other hand, higher interest rates mean higher Canadian mortgage rates, which result in higher mortgage payments and reduce home affordability. Therefore, average Canadian home price peaked in February 2022 and has decreased 19% since then. Though monetary policy affects all of Canada, it is essential to remember that housing markets are local phenomena. The Ontario housing market and the British Columbia housing market mostly influence the average Canadian home price. These two markets went into bubble territory when expansionary monetary policy offered almost free money to real estate investors during the pandemic. These bubbles are now deflating. In contrast, the Alberta housing market avoided a pandemic bubble and remained relatively affordable even at its peak. Currently, the benchmark price in the Calgary region is 16% higher than in January 2015. This means that the cumulative annual growth rate, CAGR, since 2015, has been merely 1.9%. This underwhelming growth suggests that the downside risk in the Calgary housing market is rather limited. Alberta in general and Calgary in particular enjoy more economic freedom and arguably more natural resources than many other parts of Canada. As a result, Alberta offers some of the highest incomes and wages among Canadian provinces, and Calgary offers some of the highest incomes and wages among Canadian cities. Alberta housing market in general and the Calgary housing market in particular have avoided a housing bubble over the past few years. Thus, Alberta housing market is far more affordable than the Ontario housing market or the British Columbia housing market. Similarly, the Calgary housing market is far more affordable than other large Canadian housing markets, namely the Toronto housing market and the Vancouver housing market. The combination of strong job and affordable housing markets resulted in interprovincial migration toward Alberta.